Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back in review, and I was continuing editing my Days Gone overview of the characters, but now that will be pushed to tomorrow in the events of breaking news here that overcomes Save Slot, our weekly news show at the end of the week. This is definitely bigger than any Save Slot story we have this week, so we will just be kind of doing this own separate video, because it's obviously a big one here that a lot of us PlayStation gamers have been waiting for, and you can read it here on screen here. This was published this morning on PlayStation blog. It is 8:16 in the morning. It got posted. I mean, I woke up at like 7:40, made some breakfast real quick, and here I am recording this video. So they released this full editorial and a FAQ that we will go all over, and it's of course pertaining to the online ID change on PSN. And so the long requested feature officially launches today, and so they say, quote, "We're excited to..." Oh, I'm sorry, by the way, this is done by Sid Shuman, of course, the director of social media. Shout out to Sid Shuman, big dude. Sid Shuman, not Sid Shuman, not Shid Shuman, Sid Shuman. Good guy, good guy. Anyway, we're excited to announce that the online ID change feature on PSN is officially launching to all PlayStation 4 owners later today. You'll also be able to change your online ID via a web browser, and the feature will also be available starting today. Thanks to all of you who participated in the beta preview program back in October/November and who gave us your feedback. We do want to take this opportunity to clarify one point. As a result of the review program, we found an instance a game did not fully support the feature, even though it was originally published after April 1st, 2018. Contrary to what we mentioned in our original announcement, all PS4 games originally published on or after April 1st, 2018 have been developed to support the online ID change feature. However, since they have not all been specifically tested with the feature, we cannot guarantee that they will support it. For more details and information, we encourage you to refer to the list of tested games before making a change to your online ID. Do keep in mind that the large majority of mostly active PS4 games support the feature. We're sure you have questions about this long-awaited feature and how it all works. This FAQ should have answers you seek, but if not, just leave us a note in the comments below. We'll do our best to update this document or respond in the comments section. And so there we go right there. So I guess they were, I just like how they're being just blatantly honest here. They're saying, hey, from the original games that we, mentioned in April 1st, 2018, oh wait, I'm sorry, of the games that were published after April 1st, 2018, we found that some of them were not even working correctly. And so they were just being honest here. And I guess there is I want to just see what this looks like. So there's a list of tested games that work with the change online ID, and let's see, games list, games with issues, games with critical issues, games with no name. So I guess games with no known issues will be where we want to go. So there's a lot of games here that work with it, of course, Battleborn, the BioShock collection, what I'm saying, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 or 4. I'm dyslexic, I don't know. I'm not dyslexic, I just said that as a joke, but whatever. What I'm saying? All these are games, so you can go through and see, but I suppose if you really care about the game that is not supported, I guess you would want to stray away from changing your ID, I suppose, because it could cause some issues, but we will talk about that later on here in the FAQ. So the first question here, where and how can I change my online ID? You can either change your online ID on your PS4 or web browser, and so these features, as of the recording of this video, I would show it. However, they are not available yet. It's the end of the day of today, and so I'll be at work. I will not be able to display it. Maybe I'll do a little quick thing on Save Slot, do a little interjection where I attempted to change my online ID and it works. So maybe we might do that, but this is how you do it for later on in the day of this recording of this video. From your PS4, go to settings, select account management and confirmation, profile online ID, enter an online ID of your choice or choose from one of these suggestions. Follow the on-screen prompts to complete the change. And so the same thing can be done here on the web browser as well. It's right here, you can follow these steps and do that. And so it seems to be straightforward all the way, and so I just can't believe right at this point that it's actually working apparently. So can I change my online ID on my PS3 or PS Vita? No. The change can only be made through a PS4 system or a web browser. So that's very interesting to see here. You cannot change your online ID on a PS3 or a Vita. You have to do it, explicitly on the PS4 or a web browser, which is interesting to see, nonetheless. Do I have to pay for my change, or how much will it cost? And the first change is free, and changes after that will cost $10. For PS Plus members, it will cost $5. So pretty see that there, how like they have a little discount for the PS Plus members. I think that is a welcome benefit, and I think that is also great for everything. And looks like for each change after that, you will be able to just do it. So it seems like there isn't a cap on how many times you can change your ID. Will my friends be able to find me with my new online ID? And so what they say here, that when changing your online ID, you'll have the option to display your old ID next to your new ID in your profile for 30 days. This will make it easier for your friends to notice your ID change. You can only select this option at the time you are changing your online ID. And so be very careful here, that you can only select this option as you're changing your ID. You know what I'm saying? So like, definitely want to change. I would say definitely check it. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you don't confuse any of your homies. How many times can I change my online ID? This is what I was just asking about. In general, there are no restrictions to the number of times you can change your online ID. So I don't know why they say in general and make it like super vague and super weird in that way, but they say in general there are no restrictions to the number of times you can change your online ID. Can I revert back to my old ID? You can, as long as the old ID doesn't validate the terms of service. You can revert back to any of your previous IDs by contacting PlayStation support. So this is interesting too, right? Because technically, if your old online ID didn't support the terms of service, wouldn't it not go through? Or does that mean that they've changed their terms of service on online IDs and what you can have and what you can't have? I think that's what they're probably inciting here, just because I would feel like it would have been all good to revert back, because everyone's ID should be in the terms of service and should be following that. Do I have to pay to revert back to my old ID? No, reverting back is free. What happens to my old ID? Can someone else take it? No, your online ID is only available to you. This is upsetting. This is kind of upsetting, low key, right? So it's not like when you change your online ID, your old ID gets released into the void, and where anyone can pick it up and have that or whatever. So it looks like they won't be able to do that, and it'll be just like on hold for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And of course, that makes a lot of sense because they have talked endlessly about how the PSN was developed and just software coded to not be the best at changing your online ID after it's made. But there we go, right there. If I change my online ID multiple times, can I revert back to any of my past IDs? Yes, you can revert back to any of your previous online IDs as long as those IDs don't violate the terms of service. And so you can not only revert back to your old one, but you can revert back to any other changed ID. So it looks like you'll have a rotating roster of different aliases that are tied to your account that you can switch back to and stuff like that. So pretty cool to see that there. How many times can I revert back to an old ID? In general, there are no restrictions to the number of times you can revert back to your old ID as well. So it looks like there's no cap there. Can any account change your online ID? Child accounts cannot change your online ID. That is very important here, guys. Very, very important. If you, for some reason, are on a child account, you cannot change your online ID. That is crucial. I don't know why that's the case. That seems a little bit weird to me, but nonetheless, you cannot change it if you are a child with an account. Do all games support online ID change? A large majority of the most played PS4 games we tested the feature. Okay, so that's the same thing that we just answered over there in the original ones. What do you mean by games support the online ID if it was originally published on April 1st, 2018? The game must have launched for the first time on or after April 1st, 2018 to support the online ID change feature. For example, a game that first launched back in 2013 that has been re-released or resold as a complete edition in 2018 does not apply. So that is very interesting there to say as well. So if it released back in 2013 on, I guess, any system and it gets re-released, it looks like it won't be able to support that either, which is interesting as well. Why is it that only games published after April 1st were developed to support online ID change? Game published after this date were developed using tools to support online ID change at the system level. So that's obviously referring back to the whole way the PSN was actually coded and just software wrote where it wasn't really the best at being able to change your ID. So it looks like they have games that are now published that need certain code to be able to display that new online ID. Will all PS4 games released in the future support the feature? All PS4 games originally published on or after April 1st, 2018 have been developed to support the online ID change feature, but we do not guarantee that all games will fully support the feature. So maybe they're inciting that it's a developer thing. Like, I know we read that same thing in the first bit of where they were explaining everything, but maybe, you know, them saying that we don't guarantee that all the games will fully support the feature, maybe it's because it is a developer thing. That could possibly be a thing. I don't know, guys, but I saw that there are a lot of potential issues and risks associated with changing my online ID. How do I know that I won't run into these issues? We recommend that you check the list of tested games before you actually make the change. A large majority of the most played PS4 games that we tested with the feature, then they do support it, and we expect major issues to occur only in a small number of games. So looks like they are confident in that list. I'm presuming. I'm sure they'll be updating it as they move forward with this whole thing. But what kind of issues could I, so this is a big one here. So what issues are they talking about that you could potentially face with these games that don't support it? Your previous online ID may remain visible to you and other players in some areas. You may lose progress within games, including game save data, leaderboard data, and progress towards trophies. Parts of your game and applications may not function properly, both online and offline. You may lose access to content that you may have acquired for your games, including content like add-ons or in virtual currency. Okay, that's absurd. This is concerning as hell. So I feel like with this whole thing coming out, I think we're gonna see a lot of stories come out about players losing their progress, losing their different microtransactions that they buy in a game, losing their saves, losing their trophy progress. I think we're going to start seeing that here in the coming days as this rolls out at the end of the day today. So we'll see how this goes. And the last one here we have is, what should I do if I encounter an issue by changing my online ID? If you experience any issues while playing a game that is not listed on the tested games, we recommend that you revert back to your previous online ID that did not have those issues. Reverting back should resolve most issues. So there we go. So if you have a game and you have issues with it, to resolve them at this point, you would have to go back and change your previous online ID. However, if you're just down with the count, you can just keep going and just accept the fates. And so that is all that we know about the online ID change on PSN. But most importantly, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys for this? Are you going to be changing it? What names are going to be changing today, later on in the day? Let me know what your old PSN was and what you're going to change it to, you know, now. And so I have an idea of what I want to change mine into, of my main account. As you know, it's KDS123. However, if I am able to secure the name that I want, if I'm able to do it, I'll be very happy. I don't know if I'll be able to, guys. I don't know. And plus, I don't even know if I want to change it at this point, just because there could be issues that I run into. You know, maybe a great place to change it would be like PS5, for example. But I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. Like, I just don't want to mess up any of my game saves and progress, whatever. But I guess we shall see. But let me know what you guys are going to change your names to down in the comments below. And make sure also, while you're down there, to check out our description, where you can find our links, our Twitter, our Twitch, our Discord, all those links down in the description below. Also, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed that, as well as stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.